Hey, Super Cruisers, it's Frank and Kevin from Cruising with Wheels.
You got questions, we got answers in this episode of our subscriber Q&A. Welcome to episode 54 of Subscriber Q&A. If you've got questions, we've got answers. Email us at
cruisingwithwheels@gmail.com.
Another great way that you can ask those questions are going to Facebook, Instagram. You can tweet us or you can Snapchat us. But let's jump right in with our first question that came from Facebook from Leslie. And Leslie writes, everyone is talking about tipping the bartenders to make sure you get good service. Is this over the gratuities we are charged for? If so, what is the tipping amount? Is it per drink or per bar visit?
Well, now remember, the ship's daily per person gratuity charge is totally separate from what else you might want to give a crew member, either at a bar or a restaurant, or for giving, above and beyond service.
Super service.
Yeah, super service. Now, we carry generic thank you cards with like $5 bills inside of them. And when a crew member goes above and beyond the call of duty, we hand them a card. Now, Dave and Darlene, our travel buddies, usually do tip their favorite bartender when they know they're going to spend an amount of time that night. And it's a busy bar, and they want to make sure that they get prompt service. And I think they do it per drink. I mean, you don't want to split.
Sometimes I've seen them do it per drink. I've also seen them the second or third day walk up, hand them a $20 bill and say, look, this is for the night.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Remember us. I personally don't tip over and above because I figure I've already done that. Now, through our daily gratuities or through the drink package tips, right? However, if I walk up and I ask for a Cosmo and they mix it perfect, and I don't even have to tell them, they're getting a tip from me.
That's called above and beyond.
So we have to say it is a personal option. And, you'll see on the receipt, it prints out automatically on most of them that you can tip them, and they usually suggest 20%. But, a buck here, a buck there, that's what I do. A buck.
Right.
My accent. A buck.
It depends on how fast you want that drink.
Next question came from Alicia.
That's right. Now, Alicia says, I watched a video you did from the NCL Gem where you had an issue at dinner with other cruisers sitting next to you.
My God.
Did you really ask to be moved to another table? I would be too embarrassed to ask.
Oh, well, we most certainly had an issue, and we most certainly asked to be moved. You should not be embarrassed. It's your cruise and your experience just as much as it's theirs.
Right.
The two couples sitting next to us literally were 1 foot from our table, and they were completely obnoxiously loud, especially the one man, and he was boasting about why I'm so loud.
I bet you everyone can hear me. And it's like,
we mentioned it to the waiter when he came over and told him that he had to move us.
Yeah.
And he did. It was a specialty restaurant. We paid money for our dinner and our experience, and we just wanted to be moved, and it was the right thing to do because we wanted to enjoy our meal just like everyone else wanted to.
I could not sit there holding my hand over my ear, eating my dinner, while he was literally 12 inches away, screaming.
No, this wasn't. I was going to say, was that your birthday dinner, but it wasn't.
Oh, no, that was a great dinner.
Next question comes from Rhonda, and Rhonda says, my 3 kids are very, 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 very fussy eaters.
Oh, God, typical
Yep,
kids.
they're fussy with their food. And when they go out at home, she always brings their favorite snacks with them.
Probably got stuffed in her purse.
She wants to know if she can pack their snacks in her luggage when they go on the cruise.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she has them available.
Oh, gosh, I always pack stuff. We actually did a video on it, which Kevin will put in the link below. But yes, you can. Just make sure that your snacks, candy, whatever it is, are pre-packed, sealed, and ready to eat from the manufacturer.
Yeah,
Okay?
you can't make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and
Right,
bring them with
right.
you.
You can't bring on fresh fruit or vegetables. They have to be manufacturer
Meat, cheese, it can't be
sealed
that either.
from the store. Like I bring packaged candy and maybe packaged crackers.
Our next question comes from Melanie.
Right. Melanie is asking, there's so much confusion and disagreement over whether to take your passport with you when you go into port when you leave the ship. What say you? People say...
I hate the passport question.
People say, oh my God, no, I keep it locked in the safe. I would never bring it into port. Other people are like, no, I do bring it into port because it's with me in case something happens.
Well, she just wants to know our opinion. So I'm going to tell them.
What say you?
We think you should bring your passport with you off the ship. Now, this is just in case you were stranded in a foreign country. You could easily depart without hassle of going to the consulate or embassy to get an exit visa. And I want to say, for all the naysayers out there that say the ship is going to leave your luggage for you at the port, and the ship is going to leave your passport and your money and your jewelry and all the stuff that's in your safe, I don't care what you say. I have personally known people that have missed the ship and they're stuck there without a passport, without money, without their credit cards, without their clothes.
Right.
So just, like we say, just get the damn passport, take the damn passport with you. That's what I say. That's what I say.
Right, right.
That's
Now, we do keep a color copy of our passport.
Makes it easier when you go to the consulate.
Right, so I copy it on one page. It's passport, driver's license, and our medical insurance card, and we keep a copy. And so one of those things is always, if we have the passport in port, the copies are in the safe.
Now, I would like to say that we know there is a risk of losing your passport or it getting stolen. It's a minute risk. And think about this, okay? You're also at risk for the money that you're carrying with you to be lost or stolen, your wallet to be lost or stolen, your purse, your credit cards, your jewelry.
Right. I mean, if
So,
stuff's
come
gonna
on.
if you're going to get robbed or
You're
you're
gonna
going to
get
lose
robbed.
it, it's going to happen.
Right.
And everyone seems to be focused on the passport issue.
I
sorry.
say get over it, take
Right,
it with you.
I know.
Next question comes from Belinda. She writes, my son will be almost a year old, and we think it's safe to take him along with us on a cruise. Will he be charged to full fare?
Is he alive and breathing? Yes, he is. But you know what? I joke and say, he won't, but you will. Now, the reason cruise lines often charge for young children is that a ship is licensed to carry a specific number of people, and an infant counts as a person. Now, some cruise lines offer small children that sail for free, but one adult is charged a single supplement price plus the child's taxes and port fees. They have to pay that. Now, each cruise line is different. Examples, Costa, free under 3 years old with the supplement. MSC is now free for 11 years old and under. In Disney, kids 6 months to 2 years are half price. So check out the cruise line, find exactly what their terms are for children, for the little wee ones.
But I say, like, why wouldn't they be charged?
Right.
That's what I say.
Again,
Yes.
they have a name and a birth date, and they are on the manifest as a person.
Exactly.
And they are going to get those taxes, port fees, and any charges that they can get.
Next up is from Carol.
Now, Carol is saying, I am so disappointed that NCL changed from Pepsi to Coca-Cola. And I think I saw her swoon and fall on her fainting couch. Can I bring my own Pepsi soda on board with me on my NCL cruise?
It's a big fat no. And it's been a big fat no for quite some time. According to their website, effective on sailings July 15th of 2016 and beyond, so it's 2016 that they changed this, guests are prohibited from bringing any beverages, including liquor, beer, and non-alcoholic drinks, such as water, sodas, and juices on board, either as carry-on or checked luggage. And they really, a lot of the cruise lines are tamping down on this currently because of recycling.
I know, right. So I just want to say one last thing. No Pepsi for you.
Not on NCL anyway.
Right.
Next question comes from Nora. You always say,
oh, here we go.
Just get the damn passport. But I've been told that I don't need one when I fly to the Bahamas. Just a regular ID, a license and birth certificate. Well, first of all, we're cruising. Mainly focused on cruising, but this is about
a travel.
flying.
Right, flying.
Okay?
She's flying to the Bahamas.
And
the answer is no.
The answer is no. You really don't need it. And technically, you don't need a passport to go on a cruise. You know that, right? Technically, you don't need a passport. Most cruise lines, you just need to bring your birth certificate, your driver's license, your marriage certificate, your blood of your firstborn child. They make you have so much things. However, it's easier if you just get the damn passport, for God's sake, people.
But for Nora flying into the Bahamas, the answer is no. No, you can't use a license and birth certificate any longer. Now, that was true back in 2017 and before, but effective December of 2018, birth certificates are no longer accepted regardless of age. All U.S. citizens are required to present a valid U.S. passport to enter the Bahamas and then re-enter back into the United States.
Right. Now, this is in regards to flying.
Yes.
In regards to flying.
Because Nora.
Nora, is this going to be a hot button comment question? Yeah. Because a lot of people are going to say, I don't need a passport to take a cruise.
But you got to the Bahamas via a cruise ship, which is very different from Nora flying from North Carolina into the Bahamas. Very different.
Now, the final question today comes from Michael. And what does Michael say?
Well, Michael said, what if I decide in the middle of my cruise that I want to get off the ship and stay in one of the ports?
Oh.
It's an 8-9 day cruise.
Like not flying,
I've got to a port on the 5th day.
Like not getting back on the ship.
I met someone in the Dominican Republic. I've fallen in love, and I'm just going to want to pack my bags, and I'm staying, and I'm going to marry that person. I'm not getting back on the ship and going back to Orlando.
Interesting question. Now, you cannot sail from a U.S. port and get off the ship and stay in a U.S. port. So, mid-cruise, that's not allowed. It's a violation of the Passenger Vessel Services Act.
Sorry.
And the ship will be fined.
Yeah.
And you don't get back on.
You'll be fined. Yeah. Translation, you'll pay for that.
If you sail on a cruise ship from a U.S. port and leave the ship permanently in a foreign port, then it should be allowed according to the U.S. law. Now, this is all for U.S. citizens.
Yes.
And because the U.S. law doesn't have a problem with passengers leaving the ship in a foreign country, it's possible for the foreign country that they could have laws against cruise passengers staying.
Right. Now, you'll want to check with your cruise line for details on that one. If you're thinking that, I'm on my Royal Caribbean cruise, what if I meet someone and want to stay in, Jamaica? Okay, well, check with Royal Caribbean. You have to tell, they say the process is you have to tell the front desk on the ship about 2 days prior to your new departure port where you intend to disembark and stay. The ship's personnel have to post the new departure port's customs and immigration officials that you are getting off there. So you got to be processed by the immigration people there. That's the bottom line. And you got to settle your bill.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably the biggest issue they've got.
So this happened. This happened to one of my customers. It was they went on a European cruise. It was many years ago, so maybe the laws have changed. But it was many years ago. The husband had a heart attack, and he had to stay in the hospital in Europe. I'm not sure what port it was in. They had called the ship and spoken with the ship, and the ship allowed to release him, but they wouldn't release the wife. The wife had to get back on the ship or pay a fine.
The fine that they would have been charged.
Right. And so if I recall correctly, the wife got back on, but had to settle her bill because the husband wasn't going to be there anymore, and put the new credit card up. And then there was only like 2 days left on the cruise. So she finished up the cruise, flew back to where they were because it was still in Europe. It was not very expensive, and they had travel insurance, so that paid for some of it. But I thought, that's interesting that there can be. It's all dependent on what the cruise ship decides and what the local customs officials decide. And it was due to the custom officials that wouldn't let the wife stay.
See, that's the thing. It could be, the cruise ship is like, okay, you meet these requirements and we're settled. But again, even if they know about it, or for some people that the ship doesn't know, and you think you're getting off the ship and you're secretly packing your luggage and you're like, okay, I'm getting off and I'm not getting on.
They will find you.
You are going to have what was called multiple problems with immigration and customs locally, because you're going to get busted.
We want to thank you for joining us for another exciting Q&A. And remember, become a regular Cruising with Wheels family member by clicking the subscribe button if you already haven't, and that little bell to get regular notifications of when our videos go live. I invite all of our current subscribers to double check and make sure that you have that bell activated so that you're getting notifications of when our videos go live. We are also on other social medias.
No.
Yes.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
But until next time, remember to always
travel safe
and cruise often.